Right, into the belly of the beast, COP26, let's go. Did you enjoy the show last night?
It was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
fantastic to be there. Yeah, and see
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was like, as you know, our first show in so long. So
How was it for you? Exciting?
It was nerve-wracking. It was an emotional roller coaster. It was so much fun. Yeah, it's just so good to be back on stage.
That's right.
Fucking idiot, son! We first met over the climate strikes.
We did.
Would you be able to, I'm sure you've done this a million times, but would you be able to tell everyone about the climate strikes?
I can use my mask if you like. So here is my mask, and these are the climate stripes. And they represent the changes in global temperature from 1850 on the left to 2020 on the right. And there's one stripe for every year, the global average temperature in that year. And you can see that they're colour-coded by the temperature. And so you see at the start, starting from 1850, there's very dark blues and light blues, and slowly as time goes on, they transition to oranges, to reds, and the last few years, very dark reds. So this is a very striking visual symbol of our warming world. And you don't need any scientific training to understand this. You don't need to understand graphs. You just need to take one look at this image to know this is what's going on based on the latest scientific data. Billions of individual measurements with individual thermometers go into making this single graphic communicating the fact that our planet is warming.
It's very much here, isn't it? People have often said, we need to do this for future generations. So it's like, it's begun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it's happening now. Yeah, so I've been working in this field for 30 years. The predictions that we were making 30 years ago are now happening. They're now coming true. So we know that we're getting it right.
You might expect that an intelligent species would respond to the terrifying signals that our natural world is sending us and act swiftly to radically change its relationship to the living world, to radically change its economic system. Now, will self-interest and business interests defeat the common good again, as often happens at these conferences of the parties? Only time will tell. What seems certain to me is that we must keep immense pressure on our so-called leaders to meet these pledges and go beyond them, because anything else at this stage is akin to violence.
I believe in our human capacity to care deeply and to act collectively. The children cannot live on words and empty promises. They are waiting for you to act.
We hear lots of pledges for different times, by 2030, by 2050, by 2060. I feel like often what's happened with the Conference of the Parties that they've just projected things into the future. They're like, we'll do that by then, and then often they've kind of moved it back as well. Could you talk about the urgency and how important the pledges are, and do you think they're going to work when they're set so far in the future? Passing the buck sort of vibe, I suppose.
So it is critical to make sure that these pledges turn into action. There have been years and decades of pledges and promises, some of which have been pulling through into action, to be fair, but nowhere near enough. We know what we have to do, but it's just not being done fast enough. We've already put climate change in motion, we've already changed the climate, so we're kind of in damage limitation mode now. So basically we can't reduce emissions fast enough. Basically, it has to start now. It should have started years ago. It has to start now and drastically reduce and just stop putting more into the atmosphere.
Fridays for Future Climate March. We've just marched through central Glasgow. We're here now listening to some of the speakers. It's an absolutely amazing atmosphere, so many people, and a real sense of determination and anger, but passion.
We must use this opportunity to create a more equal world. And our motivation should not be fear, but hope.